Just because it's old doesn't mean it's gold. Hey guys, welcome to Brian's Man Cave. So that's pretty much the idea behind this video. The other day I was watching a video from the Atari Creep, and he did a video on how not to sell your retro stuff, and it was all kind of wrapped around him seeing an ad for an Atari Lynx, and it looked like someone just found it in their basement, went Atari equals money, and it's old and whatever, and just kind of threw it on whatever sales site, and expected to get more than what most people would ask for said item, and didn't even bother to do all of the the regular things you should do before you should sell an item. And it got me thinking about I do a lot of scrolling through Facebook, and the marketplace pops up all the time, and I see these ads that show up selling like in television games and Atari games and ColecoVision. They got the some of them have the system, some of them are just a whack of games. Some of them they're pretty good, they're pretty respectful. They actually look up the actual value of these things, and then some of them are pretty nuts. Like they think they found gold because, hey, it's the name Atari, it really goes back so far. I mean, yeah, it's still around today, but when you think classic Atari, you're gonna think, well, it's old. It's like 40 years old, so it must be worth something, right? And the reality is, in most cases, you're just gonna have something that, yeah, it's old, but they made a lot of them. They made a lot of these games. And it's not necessarily just the people who find it in their basement. I've seen it also in conventions and stuff. I went to a fan expo a couple years back, and I saw one of the booths that was selling stuff. They had this game, Pac-Man, for the Atari 2600. And they had a ridiculous price tag of like $25. For Pac-Man. This is not $25. This shouldn't even be dollars. I mean, it's a very common game, and it's not a very good one. I mean, a lot of people still like the game. I'm not saying it's a terrible game, but it's not the best game to want to play. And it's not rare. There's a lot of them. And to see a price tag like that, it's like, okay, well, you either didn't do your research, or you think people are just suckers and will fall for it. And anybody that's into this type of and into retro video games, especially Atari 2600, should already know that is way overpriced. Sure, there are some that are exceptions. I mean, Frogger 2, for instance, that is not a very common title. You're not going to find that everywhere. Miner 2049er Volume 2, both of these, I got lucky. I found them in a flea market, and the person selling them didn't really care. In fact, she just kind of, every single cartridge that was Atari 2600, she valued at $3. And I was going through the bin, and I'm finding all these titles, and I'm like, all right. I could have taken them and resold them, but I didn't do that. I took the ones I wanted, and frankly, I didn't know the value of some of these. Another flea market I went to, I ended up buying a whole bunch of stuff from this lady, who I always thought already did overprice for a lot of her stuff. I had to bargain with her for some of the things, and I ended up picking up this Diner, which is in television. I think she's got it here. Still got the sticker on there. It's like $5. This cartridge is worth way more than $5, which just kind of tells me she didn't do her research fully. And I think that's what it comes down to, is just some people just don't want to do the research. They just want to pull a number out of the sky, or maybe they haphazardly jump on eBay and see some posting of somebody already posting something for a ridiculous price, and then say, hey, if they're selling it for that, I can sell it for that. And when you do stuff like that, you really got to think about it. You got to look at it and say, okay, that person's selling for instance, maybe if you're selling Super Mario Brothers 3 and you're trying to sell it for a ridiculous amount of money, like $100, and you see that somebody else has posted it for $100, click on the button that says previously or purchased and see what people actually paid money for. See where the, and you'll see that people were not paying $100. I hope people aren't paying $100 for this game, because this game, they made a lot of them. It's not a rare game. It's not, it's a game that was in circulation and a lot of people had it. The other thing that he talked about was, aside from the cost gouging, because the item that he wanted, the Atari Lynx, that the Atari Creep wanted, they wanted way more than what it was worth. But he also talked about the condition of it. And I've seen these. I've seen these ads on, Kijiji. I've seen them on Facebook. I've seen them on, various sites, eBay, where it looks like somebody literally pulled it out of their basement. And he even mentioned it in his video. Looks like somebody just pulled it out of the basement, went for a second, just to see what it was. Blow that layer of dust off of it. Didn't even bother to, once they evaluated the item and said, hey, this might make me some money, didn't go through the steps of saying, okay, well, let's properly clean it up, let's test it, let's put it on, if possible, right? I mean, if you're not going to do that, you're obviously going to have to sell it untested, which right there, the moment you say untested, devalues the item. Because now the buyer has to say, well, I'm taking a risk here. What if this thing don't work? What if I pay $100 for this system or these controllers or something, or, whatever they're selling, and it doesn't work? It's kind of it's a risk. Now, obviously, things through like eBay and stuff, you might be able to like say, hey, this doesn't work, and you didn't say that in your description, so I want my money back. I mean, you might be able to get away with that. But people do need to spend a little bit of time and actually clean the item. Look at the item. Even, I don't know, like, for instance, I bought this. This is a ColecoVision Super Action Controller, I think they call it. Yeah, Super Action Controller. Typically used for games like Rocky, and I think there was a few others. I bought a pair of these, and it was on an eBay site, eBay posting, and it was a pair of these. It was pretty low, because they were selling it untested. And I knew that. And so I took the risk. I think I paid like $30-something. It wasn't a lot. And when I got the package and I opened it up, whew, I mean, the smell. It smelled like it came out of an old bar where people were just sitting around smoking all day. I'm like, what in the world? Like, where did this person keep these? That it smelled like absolute cigarette. And, I mean, like, I opened the box and the waft, it hit me. And I'm like, what am I going to do? These stink. And so I thought, okay, well, I'm going to leave it open, let it breathe for a bit. I pulled it out. They wrapped it in, like, newspaper. I'm like, oh, okay. At least they gave it a shot, because, that's another thing. If you're going to sell this stuff, properly package it. Use bubble wrap or something. Because I have seen these where people bought games and stuff, and all they literally did was throw it in a box. And you know what happens in shipping, right? Moves around, dings the box, breaks it. And this old stuff, it's going to take a beating. It's already old. Don't do that. But anyways, yeah, this person obviously didn't spend the time to say, you know what, this maybe needs a little cleaning. Even this, like, I think I tried to clean it up a little bit after I got it. Take some wipes or something, take something and try and, give it a little spit shine. Even if you're not going to test it. I mean, I get it. You might not have a ColecoVision anymore. Maybe they had the controllers in a box somewhere. They forgot. They got rid of the ColecoVision a long time ago. I get that. Fine. Maybe they found it in a yard sale and they're like, hey, Coleco, I can make money off of this. Whatever. Take that little bit of time. Give it a little bit of a shine. It doesn't have to work. It could just at least look pretty. Anyways, yeah, I mean, I was just like, I had to air this thing out. Doesn't smell now because I don't know how the heck it had that smell. And it signals to me that they literally just saw this, grabbed it, took a shot of it, threw it into a box. It was probably smelling at that point of cigarettes. Threw it into a box, packaged it up, and got ready to make money. But yeah, anyways, I just wanted to talk about that. You know, I'm still debating on what I'm going to call this video, but you know, it's just kind of like, hey, not everything is expensive because it's old. You know, we do have games like this that everybody that had a Nintendo pretty much had. We do have Pac-Man, which runs rampant around the community. We have, you know, games like Combat, E.T. Adventure, which people will often think are really expensive. And of course, there's that water grading crap. Don't get me started on that. Remember the whole Super Mario Brother game that everybody thought was like $100,000? And of course, you do see those posts that pop up every once in a while going, you might be sitting on a gold mine. Okay, that's just BS. Anyways, let me know what you think. Throw some comments down below. Let me know of some things that you've seen on eBay or whatever that you kind of looked at it and went, are you nuts? Are you crazy? What are you thinking? Throw that down in the comments below. It's always a fun read. Anyways, hope you liked the video. Hope you subscribe. Talk to you later.